Hey guys, welcome back to Home Built, and today it's time to start working on the interior of the 680.
Hey guys, today we're doing something completely different we've never done before. We've actually got a giveaway competition for you, and it is...
We got approached by Yode Watches, and they make these really funky wooden watches. This one's completely mechanical from their Dover range. It's actually zebra wood and dark sandalwood.
And I have got one from their Cassia range, and it is the olive wood with the Aegean blue face, which I think is very elegant. So
all you have to do is click the link in the description, and one of you can win a watch from their Frankie range, or you can use that value towards something else in the collection. It includes free sizing and free shipping worldwide. And there's also a promo code HomeBuilt by Jeff in checkout, and you can get $25 off anything in their range. The competition closes on the 26th of November, so get in quick.
good luck.
One of you are going to win. Okay, so those of you who have been following the build would have seen that I've started looking at the bits and pieces I've got for the interior, and I went up to Zach's and scrounged around and tried to get some more interior bits and pieces for the Z. And some of the bits, I was still limited in what I could get that was not damaged. As you can see here, some of these panels are damaged, so I'm going to have to do something about them. And I just grabbed a big pile of carpets. I don't know what cars these are out of, if they're actually out of Zs. I think they are, but whether they're out of 2+2s or two-seaters. Zach has got a multitude of parts, so I've got these. I'm not going to be using these in the car, but I'm going to be using these as templates for the carpet that I'm going to build for the car and things like that. So I need to sort out what I've got, work out where I want to go with this, and start formulating a plan. So let's start trying things out. All right, that looks really good. I am really happy with the basic layout of this stuff here. I've got most of the bits I need to make the patterns to move forward. There are things I'm going to have to change because I've got the roll cage in, and because I've got the slightly different seat mounts. So there's things I'm going to have to modify moving forward. But for now, I'm happy with what I've got. I can tick that off, and I think it's now time to actually start looking at a headliner and see what I'm going to do about that. Okay, so my next job is to start tackling this headliner. It's the first thing I really need to tackle. I can't put windows in until the headliner's in, and it's sort of the easiest to sort of start and work my way down with the trim. Generally, like, the carpet is the last thing that goes in because everything else sort of, the carpet sits on top of all the rest of the trim that tucks underneath it. So working from the top down is the way to go. So headliners in modern cars are generally like a pressed piece of cardboard or sort of MDF type material with the sort of the covering glued to that, and they just sort of pop in and clip in around the sides. The older cars, like the 911 and the Beetle, have a lot of the cars have these sort of metal bows in there. So if you watch the 911 build, you'll see that it actually I had to sort of loops and thread these metal bows through, and they clip in the sides. On this is a bit of a combination of modern and the old way. Basically, all it is just a foam pad with the material on it, and just glue the foam pad to the roof. But before I get to the center, I need to work my way around the edges. This middle bit at the back has a plastic trim piece that goes over it. So this trim piece here clips over this area right there. So that bit is easy. It's the bits around the sides that I need to do something about, and standard, what they have is sort of a thicker piece of foam on the back of a piece of vinyl. And they just glue that into place around the sides. You know, another bit for the front edge, however this goes, like that. So for now, at least I've got the old ones out of the car, so I can use these as templates to make up some new ones out of nice new vinyl, and get some new foam, and see if we can stick them all up in place and see how that looks. All right, so I've laid out my vinyl. This is actually my black vinyl, just upside down. I've laid it out onto my cutting table, and I'm gonna now go around and mark out each individual piece and then cut them out. I'll probably cut them out a little bit bigger to start with. I can trim them down later and start getting ready to put these vinyl bits in the car. All right, so I've gone through, I've cut out all my vinyl pieces. They're a little bit bigger than I need because I can trim them afterwards. Basically now I got to go through and I've cut out the first sort of rough bit of foam. These old ones had, you could sort of roughly see where some foam was, but it's all perished and gone. So I'm going to go in now and trim these to shape inside, make sure they're the exact right amount of foam. And then I can start gluing these bits all inside the car. Now this front edge is, I'm pretty sure the window rubber goes over that, but it's in all the way around. I need to get in and clean up a bit of the glue. I'm just going to let it all set up, and then there's the glue where the pieces overlap. It's quite difficult to get it absolutely pristine and perfect. You can sort of see the fold there, but now it's time to get in and start doing something about this roof liner. Okay, so as you saw, I made a cardboard template and then I drew it onto my 12mm foam. So I'm going to take this now, try it in the car, trim it, get it test fitted just right, and then I'll show you what I'm going to be covering it with. Okay, so here is where I realised that my microphone battery had died. But basically, I've been looking at different types of interior materials to use on this car, and what I came down to is I really like Alcantara. If you don't know what that is, it's basically it's a micro suede. You find it in all the latest Porsche 911s and Ferraris and all that sort of thing. But basically, it's a imitation suede material, and Alcantara is actually a brand name and it's very expensive. I've managed to find an alternative, and it's very similar and it's a little bit cheaper. So this is what I'm actually going to be using throughout quite a bit of the interior of this car. I really like the look, so that is what I'm going to be using today on the headliner. So now I've got the micro suede, it's glued onto my backing foam, and So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer of adhesive all around the headliner, but I'm going to leave a gap all the way around the edge. The reason for this is because as I get to the edge, it actually tucks underneath the vinyl trim pieces that I've already put in there, and if you glue all the way to the edge, you've got the potential that you could actually glue the foam to itself and just make a mess of it. So the edges will all be tucked in and sit nice and flat, and the center will all be glued. So let's get into it. I'm in here, I've marked my centre lines front and back with some tape, and I've also done it on the headliner itself. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and start from the middle and just gradually get it in place, touch it up, and then try and sort of stretch it out to the sides and see how we go. Okay, this roof liner is in and it looks fantastic. The camera shows me there's a line here, but I can't actually see it. There's a little tiny bit of wrinkling there where the sun visor is going to go. I can probably try and squeegee that out. These corners are now looking quite nice and tidy. There's a little bit of, you can sort of just see the bit of the seams there, but overall I'm pretty happy. That side looks quite nice as well. You know, there's a little bit of sort of seams there, but overall I think it's pretty good. So we have an Alcantara headliner in the car. All right, the headliner is in and it looks great. I am really happy with the end result. Yes, thankfully after all that playing around today, and it was lots of sort of, you know, tweaking things backwards and forwards, but overall it actually it went together pretty well, pretty smoothly. In any case, I have to call it early today because I've got to go and get something very cool for the workshop. So keep your ears open for that one. But in any case, that is all I have time for today. So that must mean it's time for Fun Facts with Mrs. Jeff.
Hey guys, the 1992 Bathurst 1000 was one for the books, as the race was actually stopped due to a rainstorm and the officials deemed it too dangerous to continue. One of the most controversial parts of the race was that the winning car was actually crashed and undrivable. The race was stopped during the 145th lap due to the large amount of crashes, including Jim Richards and his Nissan GTR. The winner, who was Jim Richards, was declared based on the results from the previous full lap. As it was mostly Holden and Ford fans, Jim Richards winning in a Nissan did not go down well, and he was actually booed onto the podium by the fans. That was the end of the great era of Bathurst in many people's opinion, as the following year the rules were changed and turbos were banned, which ensured that really only the V8, Fords and Holdens could compete from then on.
All right, all done. I am quite happy with the headliner, how it came out. It's actually looking really good. It's the trimming has started, so we're moving forward, and yeah, big things afoot in the garage, just in behind where you can't see at the moment.
Yay! Please remember to enter the Yode competition because you can win a watch. Remember, free shipping anywhere in the world. All you need to do is just click and enter, and
one of you are going to win.
You can
so
win one.
Get on it.
That's pretty cool.
As always, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Merch in the description. You know the deal.
And we'll see you next time.
All right, see you guys.
In the GTR, the winner was actually declared based on, the following year the rules were banned. Okay. That was the great end. Oh God. It's not helping. So dirty.